Here we go. Mike starts us off in Alliance, Ohio. Mike, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help today?
Yeah, I'm in a bit of a situation here. I'm over $100,000 in debt. My last job, I was laid off for a year and a half. I'm 55 years old, and it's tough finding a job. And now I currently work basically minimum wage, making about $25 a year, and no assets, no savings or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to make my shovel bigger, I guess, to make things a little bit better.
Why is it that you think that you don't know how to make the money you used to make, which was how much, by the way?
About 35, 40 at the most.
Okay, so 40 is the most you've ever made. Right now you're making about 25 doing minimum wage stuff.
Yes.
What kind of work would you love to get into? I mean, let's just be real for a moment. And I know you're in a down situation, but for a moment I want you to suspend all the discouragement and just shoot me straight here. If I could give you a gig tomorrow making 40, 45, or 50, what is it that you would want to do? You know you're good at it and you would enjoy the work. Give me an example or two.
What I used to do previously was management work, sales. Had my own business for a while, and then that didn't turn out so well at the end. And
I understand what you've done. I want to know, what would you do tomorrow?
So, and that's the thing. I'm not sure.
Well, you have an idea.
I don't know if it's because of the discouragement.
Yeah, you're discouraged. You're totally discouraged, and I understand that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm trying to shake you out of it, Mike. I'm saying, Mike, don't tell me you don't have a couple ideas that have been swimming around in your head. You're a former business owner. You're an entrepreneur. You got ideas. I don't care if you think the ideas will work. I'm asking you to answer my question. Now, I want you to let your heart answer this question. Stop thinking, Mike, and let your heart blurt something out. If I guarantee you that you would be successful, you'd make the money that you need to make, that you want to make, what would you give it a shot? Give it a shot tomorrow. What would you do?
That's where I'm having a little.
No, stop. You've already said that.
Yeah.
You've already said that.
Yeah.
Mike, did you enjoy selling before? Did you enjoy running your own business? Did you enjoy being in a management leadership position before? Did you enjoy any of that?
Yeah, I did. And then I guess with the some of the stress level kind of turned me off, but the work itself I enjoyed.
Okay, boom. So stop. That's what we're talking about. Which of those three things, what work, think about the tasks, the functions during the day, did you enjoy the most? Out of all three of those things, tell me. Forget the stress. What did you enjoy? Say it.
I guess just trying to help people out.
Help people how?
By giving them what they needed or helping them to get their job done. Just different things.
All right. So am I hearing that you enjoyed the management role the most?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Mike, what's something that you've always wondered about years ago before you got discouraged? Maybe young Mike, 25-year-old Mike, or 15-year-old Mike, or 35-year-old Mike. Something that Mike always wanted to do. It's something, take me back, because discouraged Mike is not thinking clearly. I want to go back. What's something you dreamed about or wondered about as a young Mike that you never went after? What is it?
I don't know. Maybe that's where I went wrong. I just thought about being successful, but not really thinking so much how.
Okay. Mike, when I ask you these three questions, Mike, when I ask you these three questions, I want you to tell me what pops to the top of your mind. Stop thinking about work and titles. Who do you most want to help? What problem do you most want to solve? What solution do you most want to provide? What comes to your mind when you ask yourself those three questions?
See, I don't know. All
right, Mike. Mike, you're not even trying. And I'm going to be really straightforward with you. You are a human being who has a heart and who has a soul. I'm tired of hearing you say, I don't know, because you do know. You're not allowing yourself in the moment to answer the question. What's happening is I'm asking you that question and something's not immediately popping to your mind. or something is in your mind and you go, there's no chance that could happen. That ship has sailed. So I don't have any new answers. One of the two is happening, if not both simultaneously. I refuse to believe that you, Mike, have nothing in your heart when I ask the question, if I could pay you what money you would make, who would you most want to help in the workplace? Because you've already given me some clue. I think you love being a part of a team, and when the team comes to you in a management position, you go, hey, I'm going to help solve that problem, whether it's a people problem or whether it's a system problem. I just don't believe that, Mike, you have no answers. Now, I'm going to give it to you one more time. Mike, when I ask you if you get paid well to solve these type of problems or help these type of people or provide this type of solution, what makes your heart go, that's interesting? At the very minimum, it's interesting. Give me an answer.
I don't know. Since I've been working by myself lately, not having anyone over my shoulder, I'm kind of liking that actually. But at the same time, helping people, and I guess maybe that's because nothing pops in, and maybe that's leading to my confusion, along with my, stumbling blocks in the past, I guess.
I think what's really going on is you just think you're a big failure. That's what I think. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. You can't.
Yeah, because I've done it so many times.
I know, but it's because there's so many circumstances involved in your failures. But you've accepted your failures as sentences as opposed to opportunities to learn and move forward. That's the problem. Let me tell you what's going on here. So, Mike, number one, I think you need to see a counselor. I think you're a person who has got legitimate depression. I think it's beyond discouragement. And I can help you. And I want you to call back into the show after you do the homework assignment I'm about to give you. But I also think that you've got to sit down with a professional counselor, and you're going to have to deal with your failures and the hurt and the pain and the junk and the voices that are in your head. You have got to do that. Now, you begin to be able to deal with those things and be able to see clearly and separate your past from your future and even your past from your present. Then I can help you. But I want you to do the same thing I just asked you, but I want you to do the sweet spot exercise. I want you to walk through what you do best and what you love to do most. And you're struggling with what you love to do, so the clues for you are in what you do best. Because we as human beings always want to do things that we're actually proficient at, that we're good at. And you gave us some clues, but you just stopped. So I didn't do this exercise with you on the phone because I thought you were right there. But the reality is that the answers to what you'd like to do in the future and work that really matters to you is within the work you've done in the past, things that you've dreamed about, things that you've wondered about. So go through the exercise of what do you do best, and go get some other people in your life who will tell you the truth. It won't just make you feel good because you're so down right now, you can't even hear positive voices. This is a problem. And I'm willing to spend more time on this one, folks, because there are a lot of Mikes out there right now. Look at me. Look at me right now. Some of you are just like Mike, and you felt bad for Mike. You're like, Ken, you're pushing him. You're pushing him. You bet I'm pushing him. Because I need to be the voice in Mike's head in this moment where he called me that says, and I need to be the voice in your head that says, you do matter. You are not a giant failure. You've had some roadblocks. You've had some missteps. But there are reasons for those things, and we've got to dive into the reasons. And instead of taking it personal, we've got to go, okay, I know not what to do this time. Here's what I learned. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I'm get rid of the phrase, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Because when you fail, you're not losing. This is an opportunity to learn and do it again better or redirect. So Mike's got to go back and do the hard work, and you've got to do the hard work. Two things that Mike has to do and that you have to do. Number one, Mike's got to go get healthy. He's depressed, and that's a real thing, folks. Because a depressed person cannot be clear. They've got to get over and through the depression, and that takes time. Sometimes it's quicker for others. Sometimes you need medicine. Sometimes you don't. Okay, there are levels of depression. I'm not a psychiatrist, okay? But here's what I do know. A depressed and discouraged person can't think clearly. So we've got to be able to filter it and all the past and all the junk, and that's what you need to do. Filter your failure. And filter it by this. Don't let the failure tell you that you're a loser, because you're not. Now, the only thing, so that's what we're filtering. All the negative, that you're done, that you've got nothing to offer, all that junk. What you want to do is look at why I failed, where I failed, what I would do differently, what I can learn from this. Now, all of a sudden, whoo, this is awesome. And the last thing I want to say to Mike and the rest of you folks is this. If you have failed recently, welcome to the human race. And oh, by the way, welcome to the successful path. Every successful man and woman I've ever read about, met, interviewed, talked to has failed. They just filtered the failure.